Welcome back to MathSpark. In this video, we're going to talk about mastering skills in MyMathTest. So in the past videos, we've learned how to log into MyMathTest. Once we've been logged in, we've taken a diagnostic test and used that to identify those areas that we need to practice with. We can then select from those different topics, practice problems, where we can go through and practice our skill sets using help options as necessary until we've done enough problems that we feel we've mastered the topic. Once that's happened, we can close the practice problems to return to the study plan, and we'll notice that the Quiz Me buttons will turn green. That means that MyMathTest thinks that it's time for us to show that we've mastered it. The Quiz Me option allows me to go and demonstrate mastery of the skills. So when I select Quiz Me, I'm now going to get an actual quiz, exactly like the diagnostic quiz, with maybe one slight change. You have to answer these questions in order. So I will select that I'm ready to start, and I'm going to have a 2-point test, which means I'm going to have to do 2 problems. So I'm going to have to choose the problem which equals this. So in my scratch work on the side, I'm coming up with x squared plus 8x plus 15. So I will select next question. Then I've got problem 2. And again, if I do my scratch work on the side, I get 1x cubed plus 5x squared plus 11x plus 7. And so I'm going to submit my quiz. In this case, I got both of the questions correct, which means I've passed this objective. So if I go back to my study plan, I now see that I've earned 2 of the 3 mastery points on this particular section, and my icon has now 2/3 blue instead of the 1/3 blue. So the only other skill I need to be able to demonstrate is to multiply a monomial by a polynomial. Let's just say I race over and try Quiz Me. I've got the same quiz. I'm going to go and select that I'm ready to start. So the first problem is to multiply 9t to the 7th times t minus t squared plus 9t cubed. Now based on my scratch work, I get 9 times t to the 8th. So that's t, and I'll use the exponent button to get an 8. And then I'm just going to use the tab button to get back onto the ground, or the ground level, minus 9t to the 9th power. So again, I'll hit the exponent button. Plus 9 times 9 is 81t to the 10th power. So I will now select next question. And now I've got to go and do one that has a product with a fraction in it. Let's say that I'm careless in multiplying this out, and I think it's this first choice right here, which is in fact incorrect. I'll move on to the next question. And then I want to multiply these, and so I'm going to get negative 4x squared minus 4 times 2, which would be positive 8. And so I will submit my quiz. So I have my result sheet. And in this case, I got problem 1 correct, but I've got problem 2 and 3 incorrect. Now I can select on question 2 to see what it was. Question 2 was this. The correct answer was B. I selected A. I can also select problem 3. On problem 3, the correct answer is negative 4x squared plus 8x. I forgot to include the x. I was careless about distributing, trying to do it in my head. So live and learn. So if I close this and go back to my summary screen, I found out that I haven't passed this quiz. I didn't get all of the problems correct. You notice that the quiz button has now been blanked out. I can't retake this quiz until I go back and practice. And so if I select the practice icon, I'm going to have 3 problems that allow me to practice my skill set until I get better at them. And so if I go through the practice and get all 3 of the problems on the practice correct, I can retake the quiz. So for example, so I've done the first problem. I'll move over to the second problem. And I've completed the practice problems. So when I close it, I will now have the option of retaking the quiz. And in this case, I got all 3 questions correct. And so if I go back to the study plan, and so now I see that I've mastered this section. If you feel you need to practice more, you can go to the study plan contents page. This will give you the entire list of topics for which you can practice, together with information on the number of points possible, which are based off of the needs for your particular class, and the number of points you've actually earned on these. And so we could go to exponents and polynomials, click on the plus button, and see all of the different topics that we could practice with. For example, working with 0 and negative exponents, using the quotient rule to simplify, and then combining the different rules of exponents. If you need to go back and take an overview, just click on the study plan again, and now the study plan will show more mastery than I had previously. As you earn more mastery points, as you practice more, you can always go back to the Take a Test option and retry the diagnostic test a second time to see how you are improving. Remember, your goal is to try to get above 75% on that diagnostic test. Now, when you're finished working with MyMathTest on any given day, you can go down to the Results tab, and this will give you sort of a brief idea of what it was that you've done and how much time you spent on it. So I can see that I worked on some basic quizzing to earn a couple of mastery points. I also took the diagnostic test yesterday, and I started a diagnostic test, but didn't quite finish it. So I'm going to need to go through and rerun that one, and that'll be my homework for right now. And your homework is to practice with this as well. So good luck. In our next video, we'll talk about one of the other key aspects of the MathSpark program outside of MyMathTest, and that's your homework and how you might make the homework process a more active learning experience.